Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hello, bitches, and greetings from the Combustion Lounge, where today we are going to go consumer reports on your ass and try to help you with one of the biggest purchases in your life. The one purchase that will give you freedom to do almost anything. Your own place to have sex, eat comfortably, relax, and watch TV. That's right. I'm talking about buying a car. And today, I'm going to teach you the Titus method for buying a car. It's simple. These 3 words. Be a dick. That's right. Go in and make sure that you are douchey enough to keep the guy right on the edge of kicking you out of the dealership. Be sarcastic and mildly rude, but not too much. Just to make him start growing a tumor, in his lower intestine. Also, never answer his questions about financing or payments ever. Just keep saying, it's handled. This will make him nuts and he'll have no leverage. Also, do not fall in love with the car. It's like a chick. You need to know that and he needs to know that there are 15 to 100 cars just like that within 100 miles of you. Let the salesman know that repeatedly. It's like going to a dance club and ignoring the hot girls. That's how you get them. When you deal with a car salesman, you have to deal with them like you are Ike Turner and Tina has been bad. Psychologically bitch slap him. When he goes on a rant about how good his cars are and how the dealership is a family, interrupt him and let him know there's a sexier version of the same car on a lot across town, and that car's gonna love me wrong time. Car dealerships are some of the worst places in the world. I would rather be the opening act at a basement donkey sex show in Syria during a chemical attack than walk into a dealership and deal with the pack of over-cologned hucksters trying to get me into a Hyundai. Yeah, it's just like a Lexus, except for it not being like a Lexus at all. But if I keep saying the word Lexus while you're looking at this Kia, then the serotonin receptors will connect to the pleasure centers in your frontal lobe, and I'll have you cruising off the lot in this metal shitbox after I rape you on the extended warranty. Great doing business with you. No matter what you think, car dealers are out to get the most money out of you, and to their detriment. A car dealership is the only place in America where you can really walk in and screw around with the price. And you can't go into a grocery store and haggle over Beats and Velveeta. They make your half-calf skinny vanilla latte at the Bucks, you can't dicker for a quarter or two. Nope. The car dealer is a place where you can go to get raped or rape them. Kill or be killed. It is a life and death struggle against corporate evil. And just so you know, I bought a lot of cars in my life, and I've gotten bent over a couple times. I've also been boss bitch a couple of times. So just know that when you're staring at your possible new ride hungrily on that showroom floor, drooling at the new paint and 320 base horsepower, running your fingers over the new leather so soft and subtle, when you are fingering the buttons on that dash and hoping that she will cradle your ass in her seat and make you a boulevard hero, the second you decide she's the one, that is the second you have turned your soul over to the devil. Sorry, sales manager. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hello, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast, the second one for the week. On our way to finally figure out how to do 3. We'll get there. Right now we're baby steps to 2. We're at 2 now. All right, this is the 3rd week for 2. With me, as always, to my right, the lovely, gorgeous, wearing a like a newspaper boy hat and looking still hot in it. Right, Rachel Bombshell Bradley.
Hello.
And to my left, the lovely, talented, wearing stuff from the Salvation Army, Nerd Punk Jeff.
Konnichiwa, Cracker Sons.
Yeah, I like
He's super cool, man. He's nerd punk. You gotta lay off him.
I'm not laying off him. That's where you get those shirts.
Look, this is radio. I ain't dressing up to come here.
Yeah,
You're not dressing up to go anywhere, though. Let's be honest.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Do you have a suit?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, it looked like $1 million.
When was it made? What year?
The 60s.
Yeah, of course. What do you think? Was he going to say? New? No, I've got this badass Armani that I just bought.
It's cool. I look like the original Steve McGarrett in it.
Whoever that is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man. James Coburn. Love James
Why do you guys...
Coburn.
It's like all these... I don't know.
I know. It's okay.
I look like a Backstreet Boy in it.
That was a little past my time.
Yeah.
Please try and pin down my era more accurately.
I look like Zeppo Marx in it.
Nope.
No.
I think 23 skidoo when I see you. I say 23 skidoo. I know what that means. All right, guys. So we had a request from a listener talking about how to buy a car.
Jarko Deaton.
Yeah, Jocko Deaton is saying, hey, Titus, you hear me out? Hey, gonna buy a freaking car. Of course, a guy who talked like that wouldn't know how to buy a car.
This is the guy that when he got pulled over...
Okay, tell this. You set this whole story up. This made me laugh really hard. This guy... you never know what you're putting out in the world. I mean, I know what I'm saying, but you never know what people are going to do with it. So tell the story.
I don't have the whole story, but he got pulled over, accused of DUI in Georgia, and he told them that he was the Nelson Mandela of the highways, which is a quote from Neverlution. And so then he sent us a copy of his accident report where it says that...
The cop wrote down that he said that he was the Nelson Mandela of the highways.
That's awesome.
I was like, I was so proud of him. I think he did time, but I was so proud of him for saying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he continued to smart off in traffic court. But anyway, he
He used
now...
another quote from another show in traffic court.
He now is... he wants to buy a car.
Right.
And he's actually looking at the SRT8 Challenger, which you happen
Nice
to have
car.
purchased
Even
one of.
home.
Drove it.
Yep. And he actually tweeted me. He actually drove one in the car cast, and he's like, I totally get why you feel like a rock star in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. And the funny thing is, when I drove the two Mustangs for CarCast, when I drove, I think it was the Boss 302, I was driving down the 134, driving it, and I got like dive bombed by a Challenger SRT8. And then when I was out driving the exact same stretch of highway in the SRT8, I got dive bombed by a guy in a 302 Mustang.
Yeah.
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 And I crushed them both.
We're all 11. You give a guy a cool car, we're 11.
That Challenger, it's
too.
like you
Yeah.
feel like a rock star driving.
I
You
still
do.
race everyone from the line at a red light.
Yeah.
And I realize that I do it, and sometimes it's a minivan with kids in it, and a lot of times people don't know that we're racing.
Actually, most times, I would say 90%.
But I always win.
There you go. That's it. And that's why I don't want them to know we're racing, because it's a lot easier to win when they don't know you're racing. So, talking about buying a car, I thought this was a good interesting for me, because I have a sick addiction to this.
Yes.
And it's not a good addiction. Unless I save a lot of money. And on like the truck, when I traded in my old truck for this new truck, we told that story, the big blow up, right? Where I called the guy,
Yes.
I called the
Yes.
sales manager a name.
Yeah.
Cocksucker.
So for you people that never bought a car or have ever been raped, I'm going to tell you the first car story. My father
Wait,
took,
clear that up.
What?
This is not for people who have been raped.
Oh no, by a car dealer. I meant metaphorically at a
These
car dealer.
steps will not
Unless-
work in a rape situation.
No, by the way, that's a really bad deal. You paid too much for the car and you got raped. That would be okay. We're gonna start there. For you people that paid too much for your car and you got raped at the car dealership, this podcast probably won't help you.
And I have to reiterate, I'm against rape, literal or metaphorical.
Yeah.
Now metaphorical?
Yeah, I'm widening the tent, as they say.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bringing in everybody.
As they say, I don't
good.
know who they are.
This is your Obama.
The
speech.
voices in my head.
This is your Obama second term speech.
The
Basically.
cat's in your head. It's not voices. Meow.
Meow. That just goes on in your head all the time. The thing is that you know what it means.
There's only people in my head. Thank you. I'm not crazy.
There's only people, not person. People. So my first experience with the car dealership was my father. I went the Mitsubishi for a while when Dodge was really crappy, when they were building the K cars and stuff. They imported a bunch of cars called, they did the Challenger, and there was something else. And they were these little Mitsubishi cars. And they were kind of cool for the time. It's so funny when you look back on what was cool at a certain era, and you're like, oh, God, what were we thinking?
Mitsubishi Cordia L,
Yeah.
champagne gold.
Yeah, my dad took me into the dealership, and I said I wanted the car. And he kept saying this to me. You sure you want this car? You sure you want this car? It was brown and white, two-tone, and it had been used. So it had like say 8,000 miles on it. He's, you sure you want this one? Yeah. You sure you want this one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Go inside, and he sits me down, and this is when I started getting creeped out about how car dealers are, because we're in the little guy's cubicle. And I go, you know what, Dad, I really love the car. And he just goes like, he looks at me and he just puts his, he literally does like we are in like a CIA, like we're mic'd. He just does the crossing across his throat, like stop talking, doesn't say another word. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But he actually says that, and I go, what? And he points around and points to his ear. Really, Dad? Do you think they've mic'd? They have actually mic'd the guy's cubicle to hear what we're saying, so when he comes in, he knows what to do. And I found out that is a practice.
Wow. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
Not all the time, but it is a practice in the past.
Are you
and
serious?
any car dealers that we'd love to hear your tricks. Don't give your name or anything. Just go on Facebook, give us your tricks. We'd love to help our people out. We won't
Don't give us your name. Just go on Facebook
and give us your name. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So especially if you're not a car dealer anymore. If you're not one anymore and you know the tricks, we'd love to hear them because we're going to help our people out. So my dad goes, you really want this car, right? He goes, all right, I'm going to let you deal with the guy. And he leaves, and I sit down there, and I deal with the guy, and I think I'm cool. I go, well, I'm going to have to get another $200 off. And I think the car was like $9,000 or something. I'm going to get like $250 off. And the guy goes, all right, I'm going to have to do that. No, he said, I'm going to talk to my manager. I said, I don't want it then. And he goes, okay, do it. And I'm feeling all proud of myself. Turns out later, we drive away with the car. My dad's like, you happy? Yeah. And he goes, that car, by the way, this is before all the internet was really big, is you paid about $2,000 too much for it. And I look at him, I go, what? He goes, you paid about $2,000 too much. He goes, actually, if you look around in the newspaper, you can find a car. What? Dad? And he goes, you fell in love with it. He goes, you made the mistake. You fell in love with it, and then you decided you were going to pay whatever the guy wanted. And he goes, you screwed up. And I'm like, I'm a kid. Like, I have a crappy job at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, so I'm making $2,000 more payments, which is like a year's salary, a year and a half salary. And
couldn't he have just taught you the same thing as an object lesson without it actually costing you $2,000?
Nope. I'll tell you that. I thought that at the time, but now that I have kids, no, you can't. Human beings react to getting hit in the head with a board. They don't react to being told, "Hey, that guy's going to hit you in the head with a board." Okay, I'm watching it. No, get hit in the head with a board one time. I guarantee your reactions are a lot faster, and you're watching the dude with the board.
Yes, but I think you can also get there a little more academic way.
God,
too.
I'm so glad I have you on the right side and I got him on the far left. I'm so glad because I do feel like in the room I'm the centrist in this room.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Yes.
No.
Compared to where we are now, yeah, I am right of Reagan. I am a little bit right of Reagan, actually. So anyway, I will back that up.
Okay, go ahead.
Reagan raised taxes 9 times.
And he found within 12 minutes a way to mention taxes and Reagan once
So
more.
my second car I bought was from my dad, actually, and he pretty much lorded it over my head. And I realized never buy a car from your parents because you're done. At any moment, they can pull your transportation.
It's still their car.
Yeah. No, even if you paid for it.
Yeah.
Even if, I'm leaving. Not in that car. You're not.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! Don't buy a car from your parents.
Or a friend.
So here's what I've learned with car dealers now. And I bought when I was going to buy my Z06 Corvette. They were $10,000 over sticker. $10,000 over sticker. Which I got to tell you something. General Motors. Let me talk about General Motors for a second. General Motors and almost every General Motors dealership I've dealt with, when they have something hot on the lot, they will lube you up, bend you over a car, and rape you like you can't believe. General Motors, there's a dealership here in town called Keys, and in LA, it's on Van Nuys Boulevard. I went in there to look at the ZL1 Camaro when it came out. Nice car. Did you guys get one of those? Did you check one of those?
Yes, I believe we did. Yeah.
It's cool. It was cool, but it's insanely. It's got the ZR1 motor in it.
Yeah,
right. It's detuned a little bit, right?
Yeah, I like that car, but it was crazy. Like, it just has that belt line is just way too high. Like, I just felt like you couldn't see anything out.
Yeah,
of
it's
that
like
car. It's fast.
It's like the Monitor and the Merrimack of
yeah.
It's like the old Civil War battleships. Just doing a reference because I just want my people. If my teachers are listening to this, then I went to high school. I remembered a couple of things. So I go into the dealership and I look at the car and it's got a sticker of 60 on it, and I'm like, I wasn't really serious because but I was like, I said, okay, I said, we guys got to get 60 for it. What are you guys doing the deal on it? And he goes, and this dude looks at me with all the arrogance of a guy who basically had just slept with Heidi Klum, had just beaten the Koch brothers out of $1 billion, and he goes, deal. We're asking 20 over. That's where we're starting. And he said it like that, and I go, wait, for a Camaro, you're asking $80,000 for this Camaro? And he goes, yeah. You kidding me? Everybody wants this car. And I looked at him and I went, I will never walk in this dealership again. And I just walked out.
Isn't that the dealership that I always talk about that we then started harassing by cruising through the parking lot and you screaming at the salesman?
No, that was the Dodge dealership. No.
Because they were charging 20 over on the Challenger.
That was Van Nuys Dodge. Oh yeah. I used to go. So the same thing happened. Remember when the first Challengers came out?
Yeah.
And by the way, people, here's the thing. I hate bullies. I hate bullies, and when someone's a bully, whether it's a car dealer, whether it's I can't stand it, and I will go because I cannot bully you. I will out-bully you. I'm a stand-up comic. I will figure out a way. And our buddy Rick, the most interesting man in the world, he's got great bully tactics. He can do. Rick does, and people listen. Here's I'll give you a little trick. If a car dealer ever screws you over, you get an invoice, or if they owe you money, get an invoice and get three copies of the invoice. Tape them end to end in a circle through your fax machine, and then hit send. Here's what happens. It's an endless fax of the same invoice over and over and over. And what you end up doing is it never stops. So you use up all their ink and you use up hundreds and hundreds of sheets of paper. And they have been getting this invoice, and trust me, they will walk in and go, we got to pay this guy and settle with this guy because he is going to harass us, and do it every day until they do it. And I'll tell you, you don't have to do anything. It's a great joke because you tape the thing, you have to do a little bit of work, and then you just walk away.
Wow, I like that.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Rick told me that I was like, tell me more, Master Yoda.
The hardest part of that is finding a fax machine.
True that.
I was going to say, or one that still has the wheel.
Yeah.
Ours doesn't even have the...
Maybe this is a joke from the 30s. Maybe it was a prank from the 30s.
Here's what you do. You get a telegraph operator that has Tourette's. You get him high on coffee, and you have him sending the same telegraph over again, and he never says stop.
Yeah. Basically, what you're telling me, here's a telegram. Telegram says, hey, Johnny, stop. I know you're doing it. Stop. And just keep saying stop. Yeah.
Here's what you do. You find a Pony Express carrier, but his horse is lame, see? And then you send him to the dealership, and his horse is walking around with a limp.
You poke out the pigeon's eye, then you put the note on his leg, and then you let him fly.
Here's what you do. You get the town crier to stand outside his bedroom, ringing his bell all night, saying, here, ye hear me, pay me, rat fucker.
So you dress like a druid, right? And you go to tell the king what he wants to hear. I love that the voice never changed. The time went, but the voice stayed 1930s. So basically I called the dealership and I just said, I'll never be there again. And so they will screw you. They will rape you. Now, here's the other side of the coin. When my Z06 Corvette had come out, it had been out for like 2 years, about a year and a half. And it was the baddest car in the world, competes with Ferraris, and I wanted one really bad. And I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And I started going through dealerships. And by the way, people, do not be afraid to be rude and laugh in their faces. Here, when you go to a car dealership, do never worry about just bursting out laughing.
You cannot act normal. If you act normal at a car dealership,
you're done.
You're done.
And
your goose is cooked.
And if you're polite, you're done.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I go in, and the guy goes, the Corvette's $10,000 over sticker. And I went to every dealership and did this. Are you kidding me? There's like 300 of these in LA right now. You're asking $10,000 over? That's what we're asking. I said, wow. Do you guys take a pill for mental illness? What exactly do you guys do? Because I don't understand does the company know you guys do this? It's amazing. And I'll sit there and start berating the guy. He knows I'm not buying the car, but I'll stand there and just keep going and mock them. And he goes, "You're sales manager here? Let me talk to him, dude. Are you really asking $10,000 over?" I go, do you guys have some sort of like you're trying not to sell cars? And I'll just keep doing that until that guy gets mad. Now just so you people know, you can drive the sales guy away twice, especially if you're not ready to buy it. You haven't found the car. Drive them, go in, mock them, make fun of the salesman, laugh your ass off, and then on the other side go, look, man, and here's how you get out of it. At the end, when they're pissed, you go, dude, I know you're just a salesman, but come on, man. Really? Would you buy it for that? And you'll see them smile at you. And then walk out. Here's what you've established. And because you're not buying the car this time. This is going to take you a little while. Don't ever just decide, I'm buying a car this weekend because it's a sale, and run in. Don't do it. Figure out what you want. Go back 3 or 4 times, and then go in. You got to leave. They got to see your ass a couple of times to know that you have no problem walking out of the dealership. Agreed?
I hate the going and coming back, though. I hate having to be there more than once. I hate those people.
But I create so much tension. You hate it because when I go in, when I'm doing this mocking thing I do for the first couple of visits, you hate that I'm building tension. I'm building
But
people.
I'm also passive-aggressive. You're just aggressive-aggressive.
Yeah.
So I'm passive-aggressive. I like to deal with people with never having to see them. So I got my car, and I ended up getting my car. It was brand new, and I got it $20,000 under invoice.
For whatever reason, her car was on this lot. It was an 08.
Let me just finish. I found it, dealt with it, did everything online, argued, pitted people against each other, made people mad, all via email.
Yeah.
And then when I found the one, I drove to that place, said, here's how I got a check from my people, USAA, and took it, and you went with me, and you said to the lady, she's got this much. It was one of these, I have this many, what can I get for it?
Yeah.
But I already, and you said, will you do it for this car, for this amount, which was even less than what they were already discounting it. And she said yes. And when people will deal with me that quickly and honestly, like these people, I took the car home.
They didn't do it that quickly. It took you forever. See, here's the thing: you like doing it from afar. You're basically you send in the Scud missile. You don't want to see the bodies. Me, I'm a front lines guy.
She's a predator drone, and you're like,
I'm an infantryman.
You're boots on the ground.
Yeah, I'm boots on the ground. I like going in and because you know why? Because they. I also, and again, this is
you like fighting though too.
He likes it. He
it's not
enjoys
that I
it.
like fighting. I hate bullies, and they bully everybody. And for every one person,
I'm sorry, the phone's ringing. It's Justification. They're on the phone. They wanted to talk to you.
Let me just tell them to listen to the podcast. So
they have. That's why they're calling.
Tell them I don't want to talk to them anymore. And here's why: I'm busy. So I'm saying that I like for every person like me that goes in and doesn't get is just a raging douche and has done all the research. There's 15 people that don't. They just get handed a number. Some old lady's just getting raped, and so what I like now I don't know if
you're the equalizer.
Well, or I'm doing the opposite thing by pissing them off and getting the deal I get. Do they just over rape the next guy?
Oh new car dealers were super nice guys until you came along.
Yeah, you're actually creating bullies. The weaker guy that comes in after you is getting completely raped because
they're getting even.
They're raping everybody anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right?
They're gonna make money either way.
Yeah. And they prey on women really hardcore. They really prey on women. They prey on old people.
That's why I can't stand it. And they're so creepy and weird with me. That's why I can't. It's like they're
You're a hot chick though. You probably get a lot.
But the way you look, pretty much everybody's kind of creepy and weird with you. Here's how I know that. Because when somebody's not creepy and weird with you, you bring it up. That guy was really nice. That guy seemed really normal. See, you tell me that all the time, which means that pretty much your whole day is because you're so hot that people are creepy and weird to you.
He didn't stare at my boobs the whole time we were talking.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That guy didn't try and undress me with his eyes. Yeah. What the hell?
He was gay. That's why. If he didn't stare at your boobs, I've known you a long time, and I still...
but that's okay. But I went to one dealership when I was looking, and I tried to go late because I was actually just leaving the gym and I just wanted to look at a car without anybody. But of course, as soon as you step on the lot, it's like magnets. They all, like vultures, come out.
It's a pack of wolves. It's the craziest thing when you walk on a lot.
I was driving the Z06 Corvette home, and the first man said to me before I left, "Are you driving that?" And I said, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, because it's an expensive car. And that's not what he was thinking. He said, can you handle that? That car, I know another girl that tried to drive one of those, and she drove it straight into a parked car.
Women drivers, am I right? Huh? Am I right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying,
okay,
Phil.
women drivers,
Phil, I know what you're saying.
They do kind of suck, especially Asian women drivers, and it's such a stereotype, but holy crap, go to LA and get in traffic. But then I had the other experience at a dealership.
You should have said to him, are you coming on to me?
Right, exactly. And yes. Another experience where this is what is so strange to me. I kept asking this guy, older guy, just tell me what you want for the car. I like the car. And I said, just tell me what you want for it, and I'll come in and sign the papers if we can reach a deal. I can't tell you that. I said, no, tell me, add in what you need to get. And then, but still make me a decent offer, so I'm getting something and you're getting paid. I want you to make your money too. I kept telling him that. Just tell me what you need to get. That's not how we do business. This man I said, just tell me, I'm trying to give you money. What do you need? Got so upset.
Yeah,
he was shaken. He said, that is not how we do this business. I have been in this business for 30 years. You were upending the whole structure of how. And then he said, just come on in, kiddo. Come on in. Sit down. I'll pour you an ice cold Coke and we'll talk about it.
What is
she said, hold on. I'm looking for my pepper spray. It's around here somewhere.
Who's he dealing with when he's talking to you like that?
But they want you in the office.
Yeah, right.
And that he couldn't tell me. And the reason I bought this car was they told me, here's what we have to get on this car. We have to have this. Here's what you can save, but this is it. And I thought, finally, even if you're raping me, finally, at least somebody told me.
We have a starting point.
Right. We have rules for the rape. We've established our parameters.
Basically now, right. It's now a date rape. Because there's some
Which
agreement.
is fine.
There's some agreement.
Totally fine. I'm okay with the date rape.
I know.
I know. Oh.
Your move is a lot like what they recommend in Consumer Reports, where they say, find where this car is on whatever lots, find out what the invoice price is, and just sit at home and email 3 or 4 different people in your area, get the price, go back and forth, and make them compete with each other.
That's what I did.
And say, look, I know what the invoice is on this car. I know here's how much you want to make on it, and this is my offer. Take it or
had
leave
a
it.
guy, I got everybody lowballing so much, and then they just start to fall off as they can't do it. Right. I had a guy that gave me the best deal on, it was a Mercedes, and I called the
Bombshell don't drive nothing less than that.
I had the other one other dealership left, and the guy yelled at me. Sales manager told me that there's no way in hell that anyone would ever have given me that deal. Everybody gets really angry when you start to get to the heart of the matter.
But that's
an
tip.
act.
By the way, that's another tip. No, that's another tip.
He told me no. He asked me to send proof. He said send me proof, so I sent him the offer.
Yeah. So here's
did he apologize?
He never spoke to me again. Couldn't get a hold of him after.
So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. So this is another rule. Don't be afraid to piss them off. We've become this again. We drama queen bitches. We become this society. We don't want to make anybody mad. Just so you know, these guys have evil in their heart for you.
Right. If you go on that lot, you're going to have to play that game.
Right. You have.
If you don't want to get hosed, you're going to have to play that game.
By the way, if you want to put those like confrontation, doesn't like dealing with it, go Ray's way.
Yeah, or go to CarMax.
Yeah, and just keep going and keep going. Wait, when you start to get nervous that you're not going to get the car, you have to know that there's another car just like it somewhere else. You know, and if you're dealing in cars that are so rare, you have so much money, it doesn't matter what you spend.
Right.
But just know that there's another car in another dealership 50 yards away. That's what everybody gets. Everybody gets hooked into something. People go look at a new car and they're like, "That's it. That's the one." There's another one with the exact same equipment, or maybe something better, like literally 20 miles away at another dealership. Chill, just
there's
chill.
Not lie and say there is.
Yeah.
Which I did a couple times.
Yeah.
Also, I think I found that internet sales managers have more leeway and power than regular salespeople or sales managers.
Right. So back to the 06. So here's what happened. So I
Okay.
keep doing this, and I'm doing this. I'm not doing this at one dealership. I'm literally. At one point I had a route. I'd go Devonshire. I'd piss those guys off. Then I'd cut over. I'd cut across town to Van Nuys. I'd piss those guys off. Then I would go over to Burbank and piss those guys off. And then I would go. And it got to this point where I was hitting every Chevy dealership. And I knew. And I only have it on the internet because thank God for the internet. I knew their inventory.
He has free time during the week because he's
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say.
comedian.
Yeah. So I knew.
So this was his asshole route.
So this was like his free mic time. I'm working on a set here. I'm gonna play at a bunch of different.
I was
places.
basically pillaging. I'm just going through making, and I'm leaving a wake of evil. I get it. I get that I'm pissing these guys off. But then again, they're car dealers. It's like attorneys. If I could do this for attorneys, I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. I would just go attorney office, have arguments, and then walk away. Because here's the thing: being a comic and dealing with hecklers, I don't have residual hate. I don't. It doesn't go with me.
You're the only person that I know, though, that when you go to a dealership, and I stopped going with him because it was so stressful for me and so upsetting. And it's like, it's hard for people to hate you so prevalently in so many places, in so many great numbers, which is what he has when he goes to car dealerships. I have never seen, like I said, normally you walk on a car lot, 15 people start walking towards you. He walks on a car lot, 15 people walk away.
And
they go in their offices, they huddle, they look through slanted eyes.
And that's when I know. That's when I know that I now have. Now, when I walk in there with them, now that's when I start deciding. Okay, I'm getting ready to buy a car now. Right. When I've got them all backed off me, when they stop being nice to me. When they stop being nice to me.
When they're broken.
Yeah, I don't know if it's broken or they just hate my guts.
I mean, I hate the whole process. I will never buy a new car. But it's either you're going to break them or they're going to break you. Yeah. With these guys. I mean, it's not everybody in life, but with car dealers, for sure.
Just so you know, they live in that 100% of the time.
Right. That's what they do.
Right. So that's why. So then, by the way, so I know the car I'm going to get, know what color I want, and I even know where it is. I still go to the other dealerships to see if I can beat them up. I finally go to this dealership, and here's what internet guys are great. The fleet sales guy, I've had more luck with those guys because I go in, and I've been to this dealership 4 times, and I've pissed off. And like literally guys are at their desks in their cubicles and not even getting up. They just look up, and then they look back down because they know this guy, Jesus. I get that. You can just see the look of
But
that.
I'm sure that they know that it's Larry's turn to deal with you today. I'm sure that his number is up.
He got the short straw.
He got the short straw.
I got to deal with Titus.
That's part of their morning meeting.
Okay.
They all have to draw straws.
So this specific day, I know what their inventory is. I know what they got. And I go in and I walk in and I go, and remember, this is the Z06. The car was the hottest car at the time. And everybody's going 10 over. I walk in and I offer him 10 under. I go today, right now. I said, right there, like literally right now. We'll do it right now. And he goes, okay. And I don't know how I did it. Like I don't like when I went to another dealership because there's one guy that told me that, dude, you're not going to get this car for what you want. I drove back to that dealership in it, and I showed him what I paid.
You do have a lot of free time. I'm completely behind what you did.
So here's what
he made a special trip just to rub it in.
Oh, I did. I wanted to let him know. Because I said because I always say this to these guys. Look, I buy cars. I'm not dicking around. I go, what do you? And by the way, you can't be an a-hole. I want them to make money. I found out later that General Motors had just kicked in a Z06 deal, but no one was giving it to the people. Here's another thing: you need to do the research, people. Go to the internet and find out how much they have a thing called holdback. Okay, and basically what'll happen is there's holdback, and there's also holdback, and then there's like rebates. Now rebates, you got to look them up because they're hiding them now, and they'll put them out once in a while in commercials when they get desperate. End of the year, September, October, when the new models are coming out. But most of the time, if the cars are moving slow, we don't know about it, and the dealers can go, well, we're going to offer you. Hey, we'll tell you what, I'll take $3,000 off. Well, they're not taking $3,000 off. They got $3,000 from Chrysler to actually sell that car. So you want them to take $6,000 off, so you can cut into it a little bit. So just make sure you look up holdback and you look up rebates. And you think that you get, they sit on TV. Sometimes that's only half the rebate. There's hidden rebates. There's and you hit them with holdback, they start to get pissed. That's our advertising. That's how we keep the doors open. No, the doors are going to be open whether I buy this car or not. And I'll say get it from someone else. I go, by the way, there's 10 people that are going to pay what's on the sticker.
Yeah. So
get it from them. And that's what they're like, And when they start going, when they start making noises and grunting noises, when little kind of angry noises start coming out of them and you're ready to buy the car, you're just about right. Push them $200 more or get floor mats thrown in. At that point, you're done. Now, here's part two. So you bought your car. You made the deal. You bought your car. If, at this point, when the salesman has agreed to the price and they say, let me go talk to my manager now. Say, no. That's the price I'm paying. I don't want to talk to your manager.
Which brings me to something I want to tell you. Okay. I looked up sneaky things that salespeople do.
Good.
The number one thing is lowballing, which is what led you to call that one person a cocksucker.
I called the sales manager of the dealership a
It's a bait and switch. They do it on purpose. They take one salesperson, he intentionally quotes a price that's absurdly low. So then when you agree to that, then another person comes in and claims that employee either wasn't authorized to offer such a low price or gave you an incorrect figure. But then usually their job is to say, but I'd love to show you something that's only couple thousand more than that. And that's how they do it. They suck you in, and that's what they were doing to you. That dude was sneaky.
Here's what happened. So what I did with now
very sneaky.
I'm going to go with this right now because I'm sure we get new listeners. So here's what I did. I traded my old truck in, and I bought a new truck. Dodge, by the way, is making some of the best cars right now. I've had General Motors, I've had Ford. I had put 80,000 miles on this new Ram, and it didn't make a noise. Like, it never rattled. This is the best car I've ever owned. Went and got another one. I had 80,000 miles on it. I want my kids to be safe. I don't want to break down on the way to the cabin, whatever we're doing. I got this car. Find the car I want. Stand in the parking lot. Not only did I deal with the salesman on the new truck, I dealt with him on the trade-in. I said, okay, so then we got to the number. I said, okay, this much for the trade-in, this much for the truck. He said yes. I shook his hand. Okay, I go in. I start filling out the credit app. Guy comes in and goes, oh, dude, my manager said that. Then we're not going to be able to give you the truck for that. I said, where is he? And he said, I get up, I walk into the manager's office. He goes, what kind of price is that? What is he talking about? He goes, we can't sell it for that. I go, stop. This guy said he's been a car salesman for 22 years.
Yeah, right. Like, this is this guy's first day on the job, and he went, 20,000? I meant to say 2,000.
Yeah, he's made 20,000 years. So you're telling me that after we just shook hands as men, and I started doing this is what you do. Start calling him on manhood, too. This was a good one, and women know this one. I've learned this one in the car dealerships.
Comment on his penis size?
No, I just went, I said, as men, no, the honor of men. I said, we just stood in that parking lot, because they don't have any. Car dealerships don't have any. We stood in that parking lot and we shook hands. And you're telling me now that after he, who's been in the business 20 years, made me a deal, agreed to the money, you're going to pull it? I said, well, you know what, dude? You're a cocksucker. And the guy goes, did you call me a cocksucker? I said, you just blew a deal. Yeah, you just basically told this guy. So this guy's what was he new? Is he wearing a trainee hat? You're a cocksucker. And I walk into the application room and I rip it into tiny pieces. And I threw it in the air like confetti. And I walked out of the dealership.
Wait. What was that dramatic?
It was great.
Bitch,
it was so dramatic.
What was his thing?
Drama. I was a drama queen bitch, man. I was totally
Best
drama
queen bitch right there.
But I was doing it on purpose. I was doing it on purpose to let these guys know that we were done. Like, I have money in my pocket. We're done. You lost it, sale.
You use confetti for anger and evil.
I like confetti. That's right. It's not. See,
angry
you know what?
confetti.
Because I do a twist. I always do a twist on things. I don't want to do.
He's like a really, really aggro Rip Taylor.
Yeah.
You're like Henry Rollins meets Rip Taylor.
Thank you. That's the best anyone's ever put it. I get to I walk out. I bang the doors open of the dealership. Those big glass doors. I walk out. I'm just pissed. I'm going, son. They can see I'm cussing. They're watching me through the window.
But inside, are you really happy?
No, I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I walk. I get 5 feet.
Let me jump in real quick. Don't you think you're giving away your game a little bit by letting them know that they made you mad?
I want them to think they made me mad. See, at this point, you want them.
Okay.
Here's the thing is, you want them to think, if they ever do this to you, that you're so angry that your money is going somewhere else.
Pretty sneaky.
Because here's the thing, what they want is more than anything to keep the money. And I have another story after this about my buddy Dean, what he did. You just don't, and I learned it from Dean. I learned some of this, what I'm telling you, from my buddy Dean, he's a cop in Oregon. He's a great dude, but he's got, talk about a dude who's evil in a dealership. He's amazingly evil. Well, I get 5 feet from the truck. The salesman, runs out. All right, I talked to him. Well, calm down. You can sell it for that. Yeah. And I know. I've done all the research. I know I'm getting a good deal on the truck. I know they're still making a little profit on it, and I'm walking out. But they played the game. So what you do is flip the game on them. I walk back in, and I go, hey, I want you to know, I was angry, and I didn't mean to call you that. I apologize, man. And I totally flipped it. And the guy was like, oh, it's okay. I understand. No, I want you to know something. It's that, men make a deal, and when someone else destroys it, I'm not okay with that. A big word in my life is integrity, and I want to make sure that you know that I'm over it now. Let's get this done. And I drove home with the truck at the price I wanted. Actually, I saved $2,000 more. And when I told someone, I went to,
and it only took 96 man hours.
That's called the cocksucker holdback.
Yeah.
2,000 off.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have 2 hours? Well, you can get the cocksucker holdback.
Wasn't 2 hours. We spent half an hour in the thing park. Because, by the way, people, it's the only place where you can deal. If you're not willing to stand in that parking lot and deal with the guy, just have a car, have someone do it for you. You can hire a leasing company and they'll get you a decent deal. I like the game. I love to watch the drama of what they do because it's always something. Now, here's the second part. We go into financing.
Wait a minute. I think you got $1 million idea here.
What?
You sell your services as an asshole haggler to people that want to buy a car. You go in and negotiate for them. Like a manager would go in and negotiate a deal for...
One of the best boxers of all time, Asshole Haggler. He was great. He was brilliant. Asshole Haggler. Mike Tyson never would have bit his ear. Asshole Haggler didn't play. Asshole Haggler, he stabbed a dude in the ring.
Think about that, though. You want a car, you pay you $2,000 to go in and negotiate the deal for somebody.
By the way, that's when you know that his career is over.
Yeah,
like you see like people doing MetLife commercials or dental insurance
reverse
commercials.
mortgages.
Hi, I'm Christopher Titus. Buying a car is tough. But you know what? A lot of people need someone that can go in and deal with the tough arena that it is. I'm Christopher Titus, and you can call me Asshole Haggler. For $2,000, which you would have saved on the car if you just followed my technique, I'll get you the car for a price plus $2,000. So it's really useless. I can't believe I spent money on this commercial.
For an extra $50, I'll make the manager cry.
Confetti is always extra.
Confetti comes.
And just to say, I'm not bragging about this. I'm just saying that once they know that it's a game. No, because I'm not.
You like it. You
clearly hate this process.
I like to play the game. I like to play the game.
It's bragging a little.
I like to play the game. I have to admit, it's a sick. By the way, I understand it's a problem.
I get it.
Nothing
too.
I do can make everybody around me this upset and be a good thing.
Hey, listen, I'm getting acid reflux just hearing the story of you going to the dealership. shit.
Oh, it's the most awful thing in the world.
Oh, I
it's
believe
like, It's like 10 times worse than any bad set I've ever had. It's the hatred just comes off of these people, and if you're with him, if you're considered a party to him, you become a party to that hatred, and it's awful.
Okay,
She's cringing. You're smiling.
That's valid. That's valid. Well, here's the thing. The other problem is you have to remember that they're hating you because you're getting a deal. They're hating you because you're doing something that no one else does.
You're beating them at their game.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's why they hate you.
Right.
Because there's some old lady that came in that exact day, said how much is a Cadillac, and they said it was $24,000 plus. You know, we're going to do the outside. We're going to do steel coat on the finish.
Wait, what kind of Cadillac to get for $24,000?
Yeah,
Right.
Cimarron.
Yeah. We're doing okay. So it's $48,000 for the new ATS. So
Except, how much do salespeople actually make? Because they all, they kind of wear those shiny suits, and
I think they make. It depends. On some people they make a lot. It's all commission. So on some people, if someone goes in and pays sticker and then they buy the steel coat wax job, which is just someone waxed your car, and then they undercoating. And they don't do undercoating anymore. They do these long-term warranties now.
Yes.
So they scare the hell out. So some old lady sits down. Now we're going to do the next part, the financing. You sit down and you're filling out the 75 pieces of paper. I don't know why you have to sign 75 pieces of paper, but whatever. Sit down with that guy and he goes, great, hey, it's a good deal. Wow, they sold it to you for this. He'll always say that. No matter what the deal is, the guy is going to look at you. If you paid $10,000 over MSRP, they go, wow, you paid this? Wow, you got a deal. We've been selling these for $20,000 over. They always do that. They ease you in. They want you to know you got a good deal because they're about to sell you 5 things. They're about to say 5 things. They're going to say, do you want a low jack on the car? Well, because cars get stolen. Wow, and then you do this. When they start telling you that cars get stolen, you say this. Wow, these cars get stolen? I don't know if I want it now. I don't know if I want.
Nice.
I don't
like
know.
that.
I don't know if I want it now.
the old switch up rooster.
Are they easy to break into? These are easy to break into, so they don't. The locks don't work very well. They're easy for criminals to break into. Are these a high theft car? I don't want it if it's a high theft car. Then put them back. Just put them back a little bit. He's going to go. Well, you don't. He'll say you don't want the low jack. That's what he'll say. I don't want the low jack. Then
satellite radio. You'd be like, oh, all those radio waves, radiation. I don't want that. I don't want this car.
Okay. Then you look insane. Now, by the way, you always walk the level.
No, he looked insane when he asked if 400 cats could fit in the back of the car.
Can I get cat proofing in the trunk?
Cat coat. They call it cat coat. You can get cat coat. Or pussy sheen. Whatever it is. I don't know what they call it now. There's 2 companies. So they're competing.
Very different products.
Yeah. No, it's the same product. It just one sounds very different. The other thing is, so then he's going to say, okay, you don't want the low jack. It's cool. We don't know. The cars are great. Low jack, you don't really need it anyway. So you know what you do need though? You need the extended warranty. Now the extended warranty is going to cover everything on this car for up to 3 years past warranty. Now it's already got. By the way, the car's great. It's already got a 60,000 mile warranty on it. But you want to get the next 2 years, an extra 20,000 miles, because you never know. And at this point, you say this: wait. So they're easy to break into, and they break down. By the way, those Japanese cars, pick any other car company and go, I had a buddy out of Honda with 210,000 miles. This one's going to break at 50? I don't know. And then go. You have to be a little bit of an actor. Very concerned that you've just made the stupidest mistake. Make that guy think that you're questioning the deal. I need to go talk to my salesman. Say, I got to go talk to the salesman. You go, no. Okay. Every time he tries to sell you something, you actually come up with an excuse that it's not needed. And then now I'm to the point now where I just go, stop. Don't. I don't want it. Nope. And this guy, the last guy, just got irritated. He just went, nothing. I can't sell you anything. I said, no. I said you're already making 2 points on the interest. Let's move on. Okay, so here's the thing.
You're like, this floor looks like it's been vacuumed recently, and your office is very clean. It'd be a shame if it got all confettied up.
Exactly. Nice.
Thinly veiled threats.
I love that. I could use confetti as a threat too. I like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Threat confetti. It's nice. I like that.
You wield happy things for evil.
Yes.
Just like in your comedy, you do that.
Wow. Someone is just...
I'm going to choke you with gummy bears.
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
Exactly.
All right, so here's the next thing. So then when you fill the paperwork out, and by the way, and then we'll talk to financial real quick, because you have to have credit rating, and thank you, ex-wife, for credit rating. So I have trouble with that now. Okay, so then sign all the paperwork and get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. They're going to be your best buddy once you sign the paperwork. If you're signing the paperwork and everybody's patting you on the back and bringing you coffee and telling how much they love you, something's horribly wrong. If they're just going, yeah, Bob, just when he gets done, just have him. I'll give him the keys. If it is a little tone, if there's a little tone, you did your job.
Mine was actually a great experience, and
she was great though.
But also it was all women that I was dealing with. And so it was at House of Imports. And so once I went into the financing office, I mean, we were with that lady not long at all. We agreed on it, but I came in with a check from my credit union, which changed everything. And so it took everything out of it for me. And I gave that to them. I sat in financing for 20 minutes. Yeah, she was very nice, very cool, and then I left with the car. So I highly recommend getting your money straight first, because then if they think that they can finance it or they're going to run your credit and all this stuff, that's where it gets really convoluted.
Here's another way to get them, though. If you can do that, the best thing to do, and she's right, the best thing to do is get pre-financed. Go to your credit union, go to wherever you're going to go, get the money first. Okay, you're going to pay, make the deal on the car like Rach did, get the money first. Or before you even go buy the car you want, make sure you get the money in your pocket. Now, don't tell them you have the money in your pocket. Do not let them know that you have a check, because they will hold it. You start and at that point, I want you to start talking about financing. You go, what can you guys do? I mean, you guys are going to add a couple points to the financing. My bank will give me 3. If you guys, what are you guys going to be 5? Don't say you're going to do anything. Just talk about it. So they think they're going to make another. They're going to make another over the life of the loan. They're going to make another $1,000 on financing. If you have the check in your pocket, when you get to the price, go, man, on second thought, you can do 2 things. You can make them do a lot of work. I've done this before. Here's the most I've ever pissed off a dealership. Now,
there's more?
There's one beyond the cocksucker.
I thought we already heard this story.
No, no, there's one more. I bought a car.
You killed somebody with your words.
I bought a car once, and I think it was my GT Mustang, my 95 Mustang. I sat down in the car, it's 1,700 miles on it. And they had the stock window sticker in it, and I go, "This is a used car," and he goes, "Oh no, it's still in the lot new." And I go, "It's got 1,700 miles on it," and he goes, "Here's the dealership excuse." He goes, "The guy bought it 2 weekends ago, and he took it to Vegas, and he drove it back, and his credit didn't pass, so we had to go pick the car up." And I said, "Okay, well that's a great story, but it's a used car."
Yeah.
And he goes,
"And I don't think it's 1,700 miles to Vegas."
He goes, "No, it's not." I go, "Okay, here's what. It's a used car. Now look at these other ones. I want this one. I'll take this car off your hands, but I'm not paying a new car price for it." So the guy, we get down, I knock it down. I actually get another $2,000 off what I was going to pay, because it was a quote-unquote used car. And I'm sure they still made money, because they got the other guy's money. The other guy put a down payment on the car. They got his money.
Right. They've already made money on the car.
That's what I told him.
Yeah.
You already made money. You took that guy's money. You didn't get his money back. Yeah. And the guy actually laughed at that point. So then...
What kind of laugh, though? Like, you got me laugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it. And that's when there's a point when some guys will just get that you're not dicking around and you've done the research, and okay, fine. And that's happening more because of the internet. I go into financing. We sit down. They give me a rate 3 points over prime rate, and I know I'm getting raped. I know it. They're making money on the rate. I also knew that I could go get a loan from my bank at this rate, and so what I did was, you have 24 hours or
That's
70.
actually an interest rape, not an interest rate.
Interest rate. That was an interest rate. That was definitely an interest rate. I like that. That's a good phrase we should keep. Make sure you're not getting interest. You get a decent interest rate, and you don't get an interest rape. That's a commercial. Nice job. You're so smart. It's crazy.
I like to spit them out once in a while. These pearls, once in a while.
I like it. So I go back in the next day with a check for the entire amount and no interest. And the woman in financing, I think she said, "Get out of here." I paid her. She goes, she looks at the check, looks at me, and just goes, "You're paying for it? Why would you do this? Why don't you just keep this money and make payments?" And I go, "Are you kidding me? You guys charge me 3 points over prime. I'm not doing that." And she goes, "Fine." And that was just the deadest. So what had happened was, I had left, and they had a little party, and they were like, "Oh, dude, we got this guy on the interest, blah, blah, blah." The next day, so I think you have 48 hours to use a lot of the lemon laws. And that's it. Just just know this. If you're going to buy a car, they're not your friends.
No.
They're not your friends. And people go in, and you can't. Good salesmen will do it. I've had people that just go straight up, "I need to make $2,500 on the car," and I'll give them a number. I'll go, "Well, here's what I know what that car with that equipment costs," and they go, "You're right. That's what we pay. We need to make $2,000 over that." And those guys, I go good, done. I go done. I just go done. With those
So
guys.
watch out for perfect timing, how they always say, oh, you came in at just the right time. We have to make up for last month's sales.
Yep.
Or we're at the end of the month.
Yep.
They always,
That is true, though. End of the month is a good time to do that, though.
they try and rush you so that you don't have time to ask so many questions. Also, they want you to get invested. So they want you to take the car for the weekend. Don't ever, I always say, nope. A lot of times I hate even test driving them.
If you take it off the lot, yeah.
They want you to get attached to it. If you have it for the weekend and it starts to become part of your life, then it's hard to go back to the Hyundai in your garage.
It's a little. It's also a little. You're a little pregnant. That's what you're saying. You can't get a little pregnant.
They also stall you, so you have to look out. Like have you ever noticed you give them your keys and they go to look up your trade, but they disappear and no one can find them?
And your car's gone. And they've driven your car behind the building.
Or your car is blocked by other cars and you're trying to find, we have to find who, they're trying to keep you there. That's why that guy wanted me to come in and have an ice cold Coke.
Yeah, kiddo.
That
was kiddo. Kiddo's like to even if you spend 5 minutes with you, I know that the word kiddo in a deprecating way is going to piss you off. By the way, if they ask for your keys, let's go check your trade-in. Say no. We'll talk about my trade-in when we talk about my trade-in.
I say never trade. You trade in sometimes. I say never. You're gonna get raped every time on that. Sell your car privately or go to CarMax. I took a car to CarMax and they gave me $6,000 over what I owed on it.
Yeah, they were really good. They gave her what the book said. They didn't. That's another thing too. You walk in with Kelley Blue Book, the real value of the car for your zip code, and they'll go, well, that's Kelley Blue Book. That doesn't mean anything. Go the other way. Go try to buy a used car from them and say, oh, that's Kelley Blue Book. Doesn't mean I bought a car from you guys 2 years ago, and you guys said Kelley Blue Book didn't mean anything. Are you kidding me? Kelley Blue Book's the value. That's the value.
So I sold my car to CarMax, then took that money and made a down payment at another dealership. So you don't have to trade at CarMax. You can just sell your car.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is riveting now at this point.
No, that's the problem. You say, just sell it private. I don't, man. Do you want to see? I have a problem with there is a level of, I don't want to deal with some asshole like me. So
Right.
that's why I don't sell my car private. Because on a dealership, there's a professional level of a-hole. Private sellers, there's a whole other scummy bag with the guys trying to buy from you.
It's a standoff of asshole hagglers.
It is, man. Asshole.
Well, speaking as a guy who's only ever bought or sold a car privately, I totally get it. Like, there's a new move that guys do now. They'll call you up on the phone, they'll see an ad for a car, and they'll go, so what's the lowest price you're going to take for this car? It's like, first of all, you're lowballing me? Really? On the phone? You haven't even looked at the car? And I'll say to the guy, well, if you want to drag your ass down here and actually look at the car, we'll talk. But how much am I haggling on the phone? Nothing. And then if he insists, I raise the price. That's my dick move.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I like that move at all. It's now $5,800.
Yeah. I'd be like, put. And I was like, well, you're wasting my time. The price is going up. You want to drag your ass down here and show me you're serious with cash in hand? We'll talk. But until then, the price is going up.
See, he's an a-hole too. See?
I think the cats make him do it.
No, I'm just like, there's an etiquette to haggling, and I'm standing my ground.
Yes, there is an etiquette.
And you know what? I've had really good success buying and selling cars because when you can ferret out with someone whether they're an asshole or not on the phone, and then you just don't come to look at their car. Don't have them come to look at your car.
Yeah.
I've had really good success.
This guy, you call it, hey man, I was calling about the Camaro. Yeah. You still got it? Yeah. Well, so what's in it? Are you really? It's got a 350 in it. It's built. Like you don't want to sell this car, do you?
There's his wife is making him sell it because they're having a baby. That's the angry guy.
That's the good guy.
Because women
That's where you get
ruin
the deal.
everything with their babies,
That is true.
and they're crying,
That is true.
and they're driving.
That is true. We love you for this. See, this is why you're one of the most popular people on the podcast because you just,
One of the most popular people because there's 3.
if not
So, definitely one of.
I think the most popular.
Well, listen.
'Cause we don't look good
on
in
that
the car.
happy note, I'm going to go get in my $600 43-year-old station wagon.
Nice.
And peel out of here.
All right, buddy. So that's how you buy a car, people. Again, the basic term, the basic one sentence: be a dick. Be a dick, and don't feel bad about being a dick because they, in a nanosecond, they will take a kidney. If honest to God, they say, we'll sell you the car, but we're going to need a kidney. And if you would give them the kidney, they would take the kidney. There'd be a medevac chopper ready to give the kidney to someone else. Trust me. All right, see you later, Nerd Punk.
Are you leaving?
Yeah.
We'll miss you.
We only got 3 minutes. We can wrap the whole show up.
He's got to go.
All right. He just gave me the rap signal.
He gave
Again,
you the
Nerd Punk
rap
just gave me the
signal.
rap signal. He's the one who makes money on the show, and he's actually giving me the rap
Okay,
signal.
because he's hurrying us, I'll just read the titles of some news stories.
No, go ahead. Take it easy.
Konnichiwa, sayonara, nara.
All right, yeah.
Crackathon?
Goodbye,
Wasn't there a
Nerd-
Crackathon?
Oh, Adam Carolla needs me. I have to go now. And yeah, Adam Carolla, don't talk anymore. Leave that. Don't touch,
you turn up that volume.
Oh. So go ahead. In
He's
news.
got to go drive fancy cars.
Yeah, and now Bombshell Rae, continent to continent, sea to shining sea with the Bombshell News.
Yeah.
There's a new. I like the new yeah.
Yeah. Later, Nerd Punk.
Do we have a drama queen bitch this week?
Drama queen bitch. Well, let's see. Let's see who could be considered a drama queen bitch. The guy that handcuffed himself to a female Taco Bell coworker to try and convince her to go on a date with him.
That's kind of in the right movie, in the right Judd Apatow movie. That's gonna be cool.
By the way, like if you have to handcuff, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say if you have to handcuff a woman to you to get her to go on a date with you,
In a Taco Bell. I mean, they weren't in the night. They weren't on the beach or at a hotel. It was in a Taco Bell.
if a woman who works at Taco Bell has to be handcuffed to you to go on a date with you, it's time to reevaluate your life.
She may be gay.
What?
Because if you're in the Taco Bell and you're working at the Taco Bell, you've severely limited your possibilities for a mate. And if someone's willing to handcuff themselves to you, you should consider it.
Except for potheads. I feel like people that work at Taco Bell would be like the most perfect match ever for potheads. Think about that. Well, like if you're in high school,
I'm coming by to see you at work.
you only ever come to see me at work.
Well, you know you're busy a lot, so that's why I see you at work.
All you ever do is eat our food.
Yeah, but you work at Taco Bell. If you work there, it's free, right?
Actually, he would probably hang out with her or sleep with her at least because she would smell like tacos all the time too.
So really, that's sexy. Wow, you always smell like a gordita.
See, it's hot, right? So, would that be possibly a drama queen person?
Yeah, no.
He's been sentenced to 4 years in prison, so needless to say, he's not going to be dating anybody but Willie's brother. So
Ooh, that's not.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? I didn't realize Taco Bell had that kind of pull with the court system. 4 years for a romantic gesture? That's a little bit much. I bet you he was black.
probably.
Wow, Willie. It's always.
Willie works at Taco Bell.
It's always racist.
Police on Tuesday found the body of a 93-year-old man that had been stolen by his son from the cemetery because the son had plans to resurrect him through prayer. This happened in Detroit.
Okay. So, to religious people out there, I know there's a lot of really great religious people out there that love that. If you get to a place where you actually believe that you're going to dig up a dead body and bring it back with prayer, I think you've taken it one step too far.
You could say to men because it's a man that did it.
Okay, to you religious men out there. Who? What I say? No, I'm saying so I'm saying that most people aren't this religious. That's
This is not religious.
No.
This is crazy. This is your mom. This
Okay.
is...
Yeah, that's true.
He dug his father up.
To you crazy religious people out there,
my God.
what I say?
He dug his father up with the casket and stuffed him. And the son is 48 years old. He's not a kid. Stuffed him in a freezer in the basement.
Ugh.
He actually, interestingly enough, stole his father's body from Gethsemane Cemetery. I don't know. To all you religious people out there, if you know the Garden of Gethsemane.
What's Gethsemane?
No. Okay. All right. Well, read your Bible.
And Titus is a heathen.
Anyway.
He rocks that heathen look. Titus is a heathen. He's never read the good book. Titus is a heathen. He swears all the time. Titus is a heathen. But he looks mighty fine. Obviously, Can't even. I have no confidence in myself.
Sometimes on those bits, I just like to watch you
I know you
flail.
just. It's weird. No, yeah, it is flail. You just
And Peter out.
You know what it is? It's like you like push me away from the lifeboat at that point. Like oh, you just kind of kick me away from the lifeboat as I float away. Stop! You know, you do. You kick me away from the lifeboat many
Sometimes,
times.
yeah.
You don't jump in. You don't throw me a rope. You don't throw
It's
me.
good
life
for you.
preserver.
I'm making you stronger.
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
You're welcome. Anyway, so the guy's in big trouble. And needless to say, his father's still dead. He hasn't been resurrected.
Yeah, you don't need to dig him up. You could actually just,
I know.
you could just.
But he would need his earthly body back, I guess. He didn't want his dad just floating around.
That's true.
He wanted the,
That makes sense.
he wanted snuggles. Juneau, Wisconsin. 2 dancers at an exotic club in Juneau have been cited and sent to jail after they allegedly brawled over a dollar bill. The report says that one of the women is pregnant. And I just thought that was really funny.
By the way, if you're a stripper and you're pregnant, you win the dollar. I'm sorry. Again, no common courtesy in the world anymore. I mean, it's like, it's like, hey, that dollar, that's for both of us.
There are rules, right?
Yeah, I mean, even in the stripper world, you think if you're the pregnant stripper, you don't duke over a buck.
$1. A customer gave $1 to one of the dancers, and the other dancer tried to take it, and then they ended up on the floor of the stage brawling, punching, slapping, and pulling each other's hair. They had to be separated. One was visibly pregnant.
Well, I just want to say the economy is still not back yet. We're still not back where we need to be. It's getting better, but if strippers and pregnant strippers are fighting over $1, we got a ways to go still. Come on, B-Rock.
If you're still pregnant and you're still stripping, I'd say the economy maybe it could use a little upturn.
Yeah, I would say that too. I agree with you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening today. Hey, if you want to help us out, you're going to buy something through Amazon, go through the Titus podcast page, click on our Amazon link, and we get a little something, and you help the podcast out here to keep the Combustion Lounge
A little shebang.
Open.
Also, if you want to see us, we're going to be, and it's going to be...
Tonight, we're going to be in Fresno filming the comedy special. So if you are in Fresno tonight, we are going to
Saturday, right? I just want to say the day so that people know the day. Not everyone is as clear on.
Oh, Saturday 26th, right? Tonight we're going to be in
and then Sunday tomorrow in Bakersfield, the 27th. We're doing a 7:30 show at the Fox.
And
Theater.
last night in Chico kicked ass. Thank you guys so much. So we'll be there, and then if you want to see us on Facebook, go to The Real Christopher Titus on Facebook.
I'm Bombshell Rae, Colonel Jeff Fox, or at Titus Nation on Twitter. And also TitusPodcastShirts.com to get those T-shirts.
Yeah, help us out. We got some very funny Titus Podcast shirts. If you're a fan of the podcast, help us out. We'll send them to you, the high quality.
When we get through these, we're going to do another run of different sayings. We're not going to do the same sayings over. And we've had a lot of requests for blah, 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 so mad.
Blah, 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 so mad. Also, go to Combustion Speedwear and check it out. That's our only sponsor. It's our company here, Combustion World Industries. They make the baddest ass leather jackets you've ever seen. And I know people go, wow, they're Italian leathers. They seem a little high end. They're a little high end. They're a little high end. But but not any more than the Barbados. I looked at them. Not any more than Barbados, not any more than Hugo Boss. And they are way more stylish, way more badass. And the T-shirts are cool. So thanks, guys, for listening. I'm Christopher Titus for myself. And Nerd Punk Jeff, who's not here, and the lovely, amazing Bombshell Rae. Later.
Peace out.
So, since I'm sitting here, is it okay if I just end it?
You haven't said a word the whole time.
Well, sometimes I gotta do my job. I'm not in all the time.
What is your job?
I'm a producer.
Where?
Look, man, if I'm in the guy in the room not talking is a producer.
Willie?
No, the guy in the room not talking was half an hour late, and he's not working.
Okay, don't make him mad.
You know, man, sometimes I just need a little appreciation.
Oh, Willie, I didn't mean to make you cry. Say goodbye, Willie.
Jello.